So, you're gonna be guarding the Energon around here by Megatron's orders, huh? Well, nice to see you brought old Painless with you, too. You got time to bleed? Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're getting ready to wrap things up with our long 2 months of Legacy Evolution reviews. And we're going to wrap it up with this figure from the Prime series, Skyquake. Now, Skyquake actually existed in the Generation 1 era, where he was a character brought in 1992, which pretty much leaves him as one that would have only been available in Japan. Originally, they were going to call him Skywarp after the Black Seeker jet, but apparently it was decided to make him a new character. This is the one from the Prime universe. He is the twin brother of Dreadwing. Yeah, it's Dreadwing. And we will be getting a Dreadwing figure later in the year. So hopefully that'll be worth looking forward to. Skyquake is a character that is obsessively loyal to Megatron. He will do any order that Megatron gives him, without question and without fail. But on the flip side of that, Skyquake is actually one of the nicer Decepticons, as he does actually speak nicely even to his enemies. So he is a character to somewhat be respected. Then, of course, if there's anybody that disrespects him, or mainly disrespects Megatron, Skyquake is loyal enough that he will beat on any of them that speak ill of the Decepticon leader. Alright, now as we get ready to start looking at the accessories, there's an extra one I want to point out to many of you, especially those of you who are parents that have young children. I want to mention something to keep an eye on are these stabilizer fins on the toy, because you saw there right there, I just touched it and it came right out. I've had a problem with that since I unboxed this toy, and no amount of putting it back in keeps it in. You saw, just popped it free again. So I'm probably going to have to use a subtle amount of hobby glue to keep that from falling out, but that's something for many of you parents. Keep an eye out on. Your children may lose that piece very frequently. Alright, let's start talking about Skyquake and his weaponry. We got his weapon in its combined form. So we'll go ahead and we'll separate the extra piece. We'll start with this one. It is his Gatling gun. It would be nice if this thing did feature some rotating barrels, but it apparently does not. Just kind of a shame. I would have liked that, but we can't get everything, can we? But there is something to know of this. The handle, the foregrip handle on this weapon can be turned around the other direction, and it can be folded alongside, so that way it is stored. Because when you're using the weapons independently, he just only holds it from the back. Kind of like that. And then, of course, we have this other piece, which opens up to form a sword. We just gotta get a nail underneath here. Yes, that was as painful as it looked. Gotta get a nail or something underneath here to fold out the sword. Doesn't want to come out. Hold on a second. Okay, we finally got it worked loose. So it folds out and it becomes something of a sword. And that would go in his other hand. Maybe. There it goes. All in all, that kind of looks like a wicked way to display him as well. But given how much of a pain it is to get the blade out, I'm certainly going to have to make that decision. But I think I'm going to put him with the blade closed. Alright, give me the weapons now. Alright, now without him with his weaponry, and before he decides to fall down on us, let's take a look at Skyquake's articulation. His head can be turned from side to side, and it is on a ball joint, so it will rock up and down. His arms can be raised up about so far. There we go, about so far. And when we get his shoulder pad out of the way, he can rotate all the way, but you do have to move it a bit for rotation. He can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees. And he does feature a swivel at the bicep. It is a bit stiff on mine. So he has G.I. Joe style battle grip. He can be twisted at his hips, so he does have a little bit of dance moves going there. We can spread his legs apart into a full splits. Love that ratcheting noise. He does have a pretty good thigh cut. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees. You can bend him at the knee 90 degrees. So all in all, Skyquake does have some decent articulation going for him. Now we can keep him standing up. Alright, we're going to go ahead and transform Skyquake. Now I should bear in mind and warn you all that he comes packaged in his airplane form. So do be aware of that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to rotate his shoulder pads out of our way. Then we need to stretch his arms so they're going out the sides. And they do fold a bit inwards at the back end of the elbow. Like that. So they get in there. Reach down underneath his arms, and there's a panel that needs to be moved. See if his fists will knock them loose. There we go, got one of them freed. Just fold the panel out of the way and fold his fist in. The panels don't go back over. So, don't need to be worried about that. Well, the arm's out completely, the fist is out completely, so there we go. That works just as well. We'll go around here to his backside. We're going to raise up these fins that are on there. Then we separate this midsection of his airplane. We're going to come around here to the front of his body, stretch it up so that it's now on a wobbly joint. And then we're going to slowly open things up a little bit so we can get the airplane section out from his back. Also keep adjusting these wings out a bit so that they're not in our way. We do have to rotate these pieces here. So we rotate them like so. You'll have to fold the tail, keep folding the tail fins so they don't catch on anything. And we also have to turn him at his hips all the way around gradually. And of course his wings section is also supposed to rotate around so that it faces the other way. Let me pause for a second and go over that. Went a little too fast when we rotated his legs. You only rotate them halfway, and then the wings are on their own hinges so that they will fold over and under, like so. And then when they're like that, his legs should be like that so we can see the tail fins underneath. Alright, once we've done that, his arms should fold in at the shoulders, and they will meet up in the middle where you can connect them up. And then you will fold them down at the shoulder so they will fold inwards. Kind of like that. So they're inside. Alright, we come down here to his legs. Fold down the tail fins a bit. Then turn his legs so that the feet are facing each other. Fold them kind of downwards like that. And kind of shift things with the wings here a bit because we're going to rotate the legs at the knee so that they fold up. Supposed to fold up, fold out the tail fins as well, all the way so they aren't in the way. Keep them on down. Then of course once we've got them folded in, you will rotate them, fold the wings up so that they stay out of our way. So the wings love to get in the way. And we're going to rotate them so that the legs get flush with the body. Once we've done that, we can fold down the big wings because they do have a post on them. And they will attach to the legs to secure them down. And of course, you can also make sure this midsection is also closed up and connected like so. Then we just got to get the airplane front to fold up and go over the head like that. And then we can connect the nose. And the shoulder pads just need gently turned and folded in like that. And of course, straighten out the tail fins by getting them up. And if you want, underneath him, does have 3 spots for landing gear. And then there you have it. Skyquake is in his airplane mode. But the fun's not over yet with him. Not quite yet. You can get his Gatling gun. You can attach the sword if you want to. It's not necessary, but it will keep you from losing it. And then it can be attached here underneath. Not the best place for it, but at least he has a spot that holds it. Unlike a few others, so I guess I can't gripe too much. But he also has a bonus play feature. If you happen to have Needle Nose, who we reviewed earlier, you have an extra option. Come up here and we fold down these fins. And we got these two posts here. And they should connect to some of the posts, some of the holes here on Needle Nose. Now, I don't know why this was done as a feature, because Needle Nose and Skyquake, when they were in G1, were not released at the same time. Plus, Needle Nose was not released in Japan. But there we have it. He's attached, and you've got some extra bonus play features with it. So now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of Skyquake? In actuality, I kind of like Skyquake. He is a different kind of Decepticon, so he does break some of the tropes about the characters. And I can't really argue with that. It's nice to see one that isn't so totally fanatical that he can't be respectful to other characters, even if they are his enemies. A lot of people in our current world could stand to learn a few lessons from Skyquake. As a toy, the robot itself is very impressive. I do like how it looks. It's not an exact replica of the character from the series, but I think it looks good. And when you get him armed with that Gatling gun, he will certainly make an impression, especially if you're displaying him on your shelf. The airplane mode, it's okay. I mean, it's not the best looking thing, but I really can't gripe about it too much. The ability to attach Needle Nose, it's okay, but really doesn't serve as a whole lot of purpose. If there's anything I really have to gripe about, it's, like I mentioned earlier, the stabilizing fins come off of him very easily. And that's a problem Hasbro should have fixed before this toy went to market. So, any of you that are in the market for a Skyquake, be sure to check for those when you're buying one, especially if you buy one loose. And that, for the meantime, my friends, concludes our reviews of Legacy Evolution. I hope you have enjoyed this 2-month-long excursion. Now, next month, we are going to take a look at some Rise of the Beast toys. A friend of mine sent a bunch for my birthday back in May, so now we're going to take a look at them. And do so remember that if you like the content that we feature on this channel, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.